Hello, my name is Mark Irving, and I'd just like a few minutes of your time to explain why we develop ProjectDSM software. All of us here at ProjectDSM have had many years of project management in the area of product development. We've come not from backgrounds of software development necessarily, but areas of consumer electronics, specialty chemicals, biomedicines and agricultural products. We've all had many years' experience as either product managers, project managers or program managers, and over that time we've seen many projects bring products to market. We've also seen over that time many projects go bad. We've seen project schedule overruns of typically 100% and sometimes as much as 300%, and we've scratched our heads to work out why have we gone badly in some of these projects. I think the answer is that product development projects are especially challenging and more difficult to plan and manage than conventional projects. And that's because of the inherent technical risks in what we're undertaking, the competing and sometimes conflicting business and technical objectives, and always the need for speed to bring the product to market as quickly as possible. We had many good tools in what we were doing over those years. We thought we were using the right tools, but we still had these massive schedule and cost overruns. In looking back over our histories, we saw that one of the major causes of these overruns were unplanned iterative loops and major rework in our projects. We cast around the world to see if we could see an alternative, and we found it in a methodology developed over 25 years ago called the Dependency Structure Matrix, the DSM. This method has been used by many organisations and is a mainstay in some of the big organisations like the aeronautical and automotive industries. But we don't see this being used at the smaller end of the market. The reason we developed ProjectDSM was to make the DSM method accessible to small and medium-sized businesses, and to do that, to help us solve the problem of unexpected schedule and cost overruns in new product development projects. What's different from other software? The engine inside ProjectDSM is the Design Structure Matrix method, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. The DSM method enables you to identify early in the project planning process iterative loops and the expected duration of cost of any rework which may occur, and to protect yourself from that by introducing particular verification tasks or just more scrutiny in those areas to try and avoid that rework. Our software also embeds good management and estimation practices in developing those project plans. The DSM can capture all the information and activity dependencies, including the feedback dependencies between project elements and not just the simple linear activity sequences of most project plans and Gantt charts. Because it's a matrix, it can see both the conventional linear dependencies from the past to the future, but also those dependencies which go from the future to the past. If I have two tasks and both depend on each other, the DSM can represent that linkage, whereas the Gantt chart can't. With ProjectDSM, you can discover at the project planning stage where and when potential loops of rework will occur and which ones will represent hidden risks in your projects. You can then optimize the project task sequence to avoid these risks and reduce the cost and schedule overruns. Most importantly, ProjectDSM is very affordable and easy to use, even by novice project managers. Investment in this software is usually recovered in the first optimised project. The main features of our software: after the dependencies between project elements have been entered, ProjectDSM calculates automatically the task sequence and shows the blocks of potential rework. We can then further optimise that task sequence by making key assumptions which lower the risk of rework. We make explicit, which is normally implicit in a project plan. The project can then be optimised for lowest cost, time to completion, or reduced complexity. To ensure these project assumptions are managed, you can add additional verification activities. If we look at some of the features of our project now, we can enter tasks in either a conventional work breakdown structure, as you see here, with the work breakdown structure on the left and some highlighted information about the selected element on the left, or you could use a more left brain approach and enter your projects as a mind map. and build up from a couple of levels of complexity to higher levels of complexity. We also allow each of the tasks to be estimated for both costs and resources to enable us to do a bottom-up project estimation process. We display all the tasks in their matrix representation, and that enables people to actually quickly see where those blocks of potential rework are. The method looks at those blocks of potential rework and optimises the sequence by imposing the simplest set of assumptions on those linked activities. The sequencing advice gives you advice in plain English on how to simplify these blocks of iterative activities. You might simplify the block by moving the risky elements forward. You might simplify the block by moving the larger and the more costly elements to the rear. You might simplify the block by reducing some of those dependencies by breaking the dependency with an assumption. All those possibilities are ranked by our software to give you the best and simplest way to optimize the sequence. Having made those optimizations, our software will track the assumptions you have made to achieve that sequence of activities. And you can protect those assumptions by imposing additional tasks within your project plan to verify that those assumptions will remain valid. Once we optimize the sequence, you can see here where we have an iteration loop and a number of the dependencies have been broken, as signified by the open circles now, which has changed the sequence of activities to minimize the likelihood of rework or the impact of rework. You can also use our software as a standalone project planning and management tool or export information to existing Microsoft applications such as Microsoft Project, Word or Excel. Our project displays a project schedule as a modified Gantt chart which includes highlighted those blocks of potential rework. Thank you for listening to this video, and if you'd like to download a free 30-day trial, please visit our website.